I think we did that as coordinated as we could try to do it.
We certainly did. And with that, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I got a little bit of feedback here.
Do you have the
little bit of feedback.
You have the YouTube stream up? Is that maybe that what's
Yes.
in the background?
I believe that's what's happening.
Mute that bad boy.
I believe that's what's happening. All right, here we go. So good evening, everybody. What's up?
Yo.
Welcome to the first Geek Cheese League Cheese Cup Series, powered by Super Mega Baseball 3.
The GOAT.
The
GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
Tonight is game
games.
1. Game 1 of the series, where the Marauders are taking on the Olympians in what is sure to be an exciting game. Series, all of it.
Yes.
I am joined in the booth tonight for the pregame show by our commissioner, the commissioner himself, Greg.
I prefer to be called commish.
The commish? Well, you know what? I was going to go with commish, and I didn't do it. Now I wish I would have. As you and talk out the side of your mouth like, yeah, see? How you doing there tonight, commish?
Fantastic. First off, props to Joey Provolone for streaming from Geek Cheese South. I'm here in Geek Cheese main headquarters, so this is good stuff. But
Geek Cheese South, South Side.
Cheese South. Yeah, like, you know, talking before, this is ridiculous that this is even happening. It's stupid in a way, because like you said, you know, we're doing a pregame show for a fake baseball league with fake players, and nothing really matters in the long run. But I mean, that's pretty much life here in 2020, so it's apropos.
This is true. This is true.
Started this league when Super Mega Baseball 3 came out, which was what, back in April, I think. I drafted up the plans. There really was no draft. I just had it in my head. And put together some teams and decided, yeah, why not, since there's no baseball at that moment, why not record some games, throw it on YouTube, and put a season together and make it exactly like you would watch a regular baseball season, you know, evening games, afternoon games, Saturday, Sunday games, just so you can watch a ball game and enjoy a cold beverage if you care to partake. And that's what I did. And 120 games later, 120 games plus every 10 games, you know, we did those stat videos, CSPM videos, so, you know,
Yep.
60 plus hours of content, and it was just lots of fun. And it's all boiled down to this, which is bananas. And funny enough, it's boiled down to, you know, teams that were right in it all along. The leader of the Pepperjack division, the Marauders, not all season, for most of the season, and then, you know, nipping at their heels was the Olympians. So pretty darn interesting that these two teams in the Pepperjack division end up here. Sorry to all you Rampage fans. Sorry to all you Steamrollers fans. The teams played well. The Rollers really gave it their best. Game 4, but nonetheless, we had the best two teams here.
You know what I'll tell you, as a diehard Fowls fan, I was excited and then disappointed, and then excited and then disappointed, but mostly disappointed. They had a really great game at the end there, but just couldn't do well enough to end up in the finals.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I mean, Fowls, they had an up and down season. But they ended strong. I mean, their last game, I think they, looking through my notes, I think their last game, they won 10-6. It's that game number 118. They won 10-6 over the Whalers, so you gotta appreciate that. So there's something for the Fowls. A little feather in their cap. No pun intended.
Oh, clever.
It just happened. It's just natural.
it just came out. Just came right out. Yeah, our household had a variety of teams to start, but really we rallied behind the Steamrollers, and with the biggest fan, Ben, he was pretty sad that he didn't get to play his daddy's team, the Marauders, in the series. So that was a bummer. But
Yeah, yeah,
Overall, it's been a fun ride.
it has been. It has been for sure. So, let me give y'all then a little bit of a preview, I suppose, of what we have in store here. I'll talk first about the Olympians because we have a very interesting situation on our hands for the Olympians tonight. If you will remember, if you'll travel all the way back to like a week ago, game number 1, Olympians versus Rollers in the Cheese Cup semifinals, Finley Oldham was hit with a comebacker, and per their management, next start was questionable. Well, it's the big game. Finley Oldham is starting. So that's interesting. His wellness meter isn't full, so we'll have to see how that factors into everything. But yeah, so we'll have to see how that works out. Finley Oldham, though, 5-0 in the season, 16 Ks, 1.36 ERA, absolutely phenomenal. You know, if we had a Cy Young Award, he would probably be the Cy Young Award winner. But he's definitely a top pitcher in all of Cheese League, so why not give him the ball, give him the nod tonight? So that will be something interesting to watch. For the Olympians, on their offense side, so of course they were 14-10 behind the Marauders in the Pepperjack division. Notable players to keep an eye on for tonight: Adelmo Bernal, right fielder. 4 RBIs, hitting 455 so far in the playoffs, doing pretty good. Joey Trickster, of course, big DH, hitting 417. Neil Shaw has 4 RBIs as well, a homer, and he's hitting 400. And those are the notable players on the Olympian side there. Joseph Provolone.
Were any of these teams, now I can't quite remember, but were any of these teams affected? I know near the end there were a few teams where the pitchers got walloped
Yes.
by the batters. Was that one of the Olympians?
Funny you should mention that. The Olympians got they got shellacked quite a bit toward the second half of the season. They lost more games, I think, than they won, which is interesting, especially
That is interesting.
Game 113 against the Marauders. They lost 12-0. They have Wilder Bobbert on the mound, and he has not been their best starter all year. Actually, when you look at the Marauders and the Olympians, they played 4 times this season. Marauders won 3 of those 4 times. So,
Wow.
But yeah, well, I mean, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. So we'll see what goes on here. But yeah, the pitchers were definitely walloped around quite a bit. So I would say the bullpens especially. The bullpens definitely suffered toward the latter part of this season. So
I'm talking specifically about the ones that got hit by the ball.
oh,
There were a few that were taken out of the game.
oh yeah, yeah, Pokemana, I believe.
And
No,
I was
not
wondering
Pokemana.
if that's affecting any of these series games at all.
No, just Oldham. Yeah, just Oldham for
Just
the
Oldham.
Olympians.
Okay.
Sorry, Bud Benetti it was of the Steamrollers got hit by a comebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the other one, but nobody from the Marauders side, just the Olympians. And again, unfortunately, their big hurler, and the best in the game. So again, his wellness meter's not full, so we'll have to see what that
okay.
means.
Yeah.
I mean, other notables on the Olympian side, right now Gertie Booper is shortstop for the Olympians, hitting 167. Spencer Panada, first baseman, hitting a $111. Respectively in the regular season, 282, 292, so they are better hitters. They're just not hitting so far in the postseason. So those are some notables. Also, the Olympians had like 20, I think it was 25 or 28 stolen bags during the season, and they're just not doing it in the playoffs. Marauders are a team that likes to run as well, and I don't think they have a lot of stolen bags here either during the playoffs. So
Very interesting.
yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's maybe protecting their players. I don't know.
Playing conservatively.
Playing conservatively, indeed.
Indeed.
Would you like to hear about the Marauders?
Absolutely, please.
Absolutely, you would. I'm gonna
Always.
take a look. And is our audio better? Sound like I'm on a remote call, or was that me?
I don't know. Maybe me.
Oh, okay.
We
Technically,
do
it is a
have
remote call.
we do have in chat though the Marauders fight song. I don't know. I guess official.
Do you care to say it out loud?
It's yo ho, haul together, hoist the colors high, heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. And you could throw in a spirited arg after that if you'd like. If you'd like, it's up to you.
Good.
We both sound good in a Kindle, so that's encouraging. It's the commissioner, which is fine. Yes, because you're calling in from the game. I'm in the booth.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatevs.
Yeah. I don't know. Just making it up as I go.
Yes. Well, for those thieves and beggars out there, Marauders fans, I suppose, you have Raymundo Gordon on the mound tonight. Raymundo Gordon, this is his first start of the playoffs, so he is well rested. See how that factors into the game. 3-1 in the regular season, 23 strikeouts, so big strikeout pitcher, good hurler for them. Yeah, we'll have to see. He's actually their number 4 starter, and 3-1 is pretty darn good. Actually might be the best in Cheese League Baseball for number 4 starters. Just throwing that out there from my data bank of knowledge. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. For the Marauders, of course, they were the guy that's not the commissioner sounds. Guy that's not
I don't know who
commissioner
wrote that.
sounds hot.
I'm not sure who wrote that, but I love you for it.
John Collins says audio does sound better. John, thanks so much for joining us here on YouTube. Appreciate it.
Oh, hey, John.
Appreciate it. So for those Marauders, of course, they are 15-9, best record in Cheese League Baseball. Let's see. Randy McLongthrob, of course, hit 452 regular season, just an absolute powerhouse. And she's doing quite well here in the playoffs. 3 RBIs, a homer, and hitting 333. Joaquin Buck, also a home run, 3 RBIs, hitting 333. And here's the interesting thing. I don't know why I didn't write his name down, but Wilder Plows has 5 RBIs here in the playoffs. Wilder Plows did like nothing pretty much all season for the Marauders. I think even Stetson Fuller for the Marauders, their center fielder, is actually like hitting well. Might even have a couple of ribbies and stuff. So again, it's playoff baseball. You never know what will happen. So those players that have not been factors at all are starting to hit. Same thing on the Olympian side. You know, Werner Fowl and Liam Bowles, not factors. 8-9 hitters, not factors at all during the season, and they're hitting well too. But back to the Marauders. Lila Quinto hitting .091. She is a .289 hitter in the regular season. Tater Pepperonis. Again, we'd like to see his brother Spud come up at some point, but Tater Pepperonis hitting a $125 so far in the playoffs. .250 regular season, so he's actually a better hitter too. So I don't know. We'll have to see what really happens with those. Maybe they can turn around here in the Cup Series and make something happen. Something. What do you say, Joey?
Something. I say that I would like to see Spud as well come up. I think that would be fun to have brothers playing.
Yep. Now we did have a brother-sister pair play this year. Of course, Raina McLongthrob, big power hitter for the Marauders, and then her brother Nico McLongthrob, of course, the catcher for the Warblers. So had a brother-sister pair.
Warblers, unfortunately, was a team that we didn't hear a whole lot of this whole go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Warblers really struggled. They struggled to score runs, and the interesting thing about them too is that they finished their season like a week before anybody else, which was really weird. Like everybody had to play catch up with them. I felt like the Warblers and the Whalers we just saw a lot of early on, and then everybody else kind of caught up, and then they ended their seasons without without much fanfare, unfortunately. And that is a tongue twister. But
you made it. You made it through, though.
I made it. I made it.
You made it.
I made it.
You got it done.
And this is something we're probably gonna have to address next season with Cheese League Baseball. But the fact that we have the top 2 teams in the Pepperjack division represented here in the Cup Series, and no teams from the Cheddar division represented. I mean, fans may be
a little biased, maybe.
Throw a riot or start a riot, or might throw things, which I welcome them to because they can't see me, or they're not near me, so they would just be damaging their own goods. I mean, why would you do that? But so it might fix things a little bit next year. Maybe just the top 4 teams amongst all 10 teams, which is really what it is anyway. It's just the divisioning is just different. So we'll see how that works next year. But yeah, I mean, when you look at all the teams in the Cheddar division, Steamrollers to me came out of nowhere. Maybe if I go back and watch all the games, I'll kind of realize that they kept creeping up. Again, they didn't have a player hitting like above 300 or well above 300. Really, I don't think on their whole entire team. So they were just a scrappy kind of team. They reminded me of the Tampa Bay Rays in a lot of ways, for Major League Baseball fans out there. But Rollers, the Grazers, the Rampage, those were the 3 teams to beat really in the Cheddar division all season. I really was keen on the Grazers early. I thought 100% for sure that they would be in the Cheese Cup Series. Surprised that they're not here. Surprised that the Rampage got as far as they did. Their bullpen really got knocked around toward the latter part of the season. Dainty Simon, who was the best pitcher in Cheese League Baseball out of their bullpen for much of the season, wasn't really a factor in the second half. So really surprised that the Rampage made it. So kudos to the Rampage. But thought those teams would be there for sure. Steamrollers just have a hell of a pitching staff, just ridiculous pitching staff. They're just so nasty. The Whalers have a pretty good pitching staff too, but I'll get to them. But yeah, they have a good pitching staff. Surprised that they came up. Colonels kind of came out of nowhere. They surprised me. They were right in the hunt too. They didn't really factor into anything. They're kind of a 500 ball club, in my opinion. It's my unbiased opinion as the Cheese League commissioner. In that division too, strongmen. I mean, the strongmen just got knocked around quite a bit. I think they had like a negative 30 run differential, which is really abysmal. They don't have good pitching. They didn't hit. They do have Langston Ali, who is a great hitter, center fielder. So they have a couple good players, but they just didn't really factor into anything. Now, on the Pepperjack division side, talk about the feud and fouls. I think they have a lot of pieces there, but their pitching, they're just like missing one good pitcher and one good hitter, I think, to really make things happen. Taylor Schmidt should be a better player than she is, and she just was not. She was average this year. Lucy
I'm
Taverna,
a big fan of hers.
Lucy Taverna too.
She blossoms.
Rod Slow should have been hitting better than he did. And honestly, they have a forgettable rotation once you get into their bullpen. Arcane Melton was great. Arcane Melton. I think Frazier too Kruger out of their bullpen. It was pretty good. So they just need a good starter. The Warblers, kind of talked about them. They're just they're an average ball club. They kind of remind me of the Colonels, but a couple of pieces, maybe they would be able to string something together. And then, unfortunately, the Whalers, they have a really good pitching staff. Yeah, they have a good pitching staff. I'm trying to remember her name. I want to say it's Newman is last name, but or maybe it's Ariela Fuentes. I can't remember right now. But either way, really good pitching staff. And I think one of their pitchers actually led the league in strikeouts and ended up. So just they need some more bats behind them. They had a negative 20-something run differential too. So that's how Cheese League baseball is. That's how it wound up. And yeah.
Well, we have a question here for the commissioner, and it kind of ties a little bit into that, needing bats and more things behind behind these franchises. Is there a chance that the Olympians and the Marauders might make some moves with their players in the off season? Would anyone be a good fit elsewhere? I guess we're talking about free agency, things like that. What do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, Joe got a sneak preview of how we're going to do free agency, and it's kind of like a beautiful mind. It's just random algorithms, plus and minus signs written on a wall somewhere.
Written out on a window overlooking a courtyard.
Yes.
Of fall trees.
So that system is going to be interesting. Trying to figure out how to really make it something that we can do all together. But really, I kind of based some of it on just rolling D20 Dungeons and Dragons dice and seeing what comes up and seeing how players fit in, if they qualify for free agency or not. I have a lot of complex things, written down somewhere in a notebook again. I think Stephen Hawking is trying to do all the computations on it.
Yeah.
So, but players that would fit in well in other teams. That's a good question. I think Spencer Panada, the first baseman for the Olympians, I think he would fit in well. He would fit in well with probably like the strongmen. I feel like they don't. I mean, they have an okay first baseman. I just feel like, or maybe even the Whalers or the Warblers, but I mean more so the pitchers. Like the Olympians pitchers are pretty. They're okay. Once you get out of away from Finley Oldham, Ariela Fuentes for the Olympians is kind of a good pitcher. Bobbert is not the best pitcher for the Olympians. He would probably do better in the Cheddar division, honestly, with some of those hitters. I'm trying to think on the Marauders side what players would fit in better. Maybe Julian Park could use a change of scenery. Julian Park is the Marauders catcher, and he pretty much I think he led the league in strikeouts most of the year. so not that good. Kellen Getrecht from the Olympians on their bench. He's a pretty darn good bench player. He would fit in well as like a corner outfielder for some of these teams. That might work. Who I'd love to see come to the Marauders would be Milana Gomez, the backup catcher for the Strongmen. She's like a power hitting backup catcher, and I feel like she'd be a good fit. Maybe to just round out the Marauders and make them absolutely just dominant. That would be interesting. Yeah, honestly, like Arcane Melton would fit really, really well in the Olympians bullpen. Man, the Olympians. Okay, here's the one thing that the Olympians need. They need a closer. I mean, their closer's okay, but they need a solid closer. Marauders' closer's pretty darn good. They need a solid closer. They need a couple more people out of the bullpen. I would say too, for the Steamrollers for next season, I would love if they can pick up a couple of bullpen pitchers. I think they would be absolutely dominant, and maybe like a big hitter. They would just be absolutely dominant. They'd be just a force to be reckoned with. Marty Hull, the Olympians catcher, he would be a dominant force somewhere, like the Marauders. He would be another, if he switched over to the Marauders, if that happens, if we roll some dice and that actually happens this year, yeah, that'd be wild.
Certainly would shake things up a little bit, make it interesting for the next season. Maybe change things up. Be pretty cool.
Isn't it interesting that I have opinions about fake things?
Yeah, you have strong and oddly well-informed opinions about unreal things.
This is
that
what
don't make
happens
sense.
when a diehard baseball fan puts together a fake baseball league and broadcasts it on YouTube and Twitch.
I was going to say I'd like to blame it on COVID, but I really think you do this anyway. So
I probably would. I probably
won't
would.
go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably what we'll be doing here soon is we got about 3 minutes left until the game starts. We plan to watch the game here and on YouTube. We're going to run the game through Twitch. But you can also see it on YouTube, and then right back here after the game for a post game summary, recap, talk about what went down.
Yep.
And I don't know, just hang out a little bit. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Why
Sound
not?
good? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see what happens.
So, knowing that the Marauders are 3-1 against the Olympians this year, and knowing that the Marauders have the best hitter in the league, Raina McLongthrope, that Finley Oldham of the Olympians is injured, their best pitcher, that Raymundo Gordon, this is his first start of the playoffs, but that the Olympians have been hitting pretty hot. Who do you have to pick? Who's your pick, Joey, for game number 1?
Game number 1, I am gonna go ahead and give it to the Marauders. They finished. I mean, both teams finished pretty strong, but the Marauders wrapped it up early.
Yeah, I think John actually called the sweep.
Oh,
on
okay,
YouTube.
all right. Yeah, he. Well, if I remember, he had some predictions that came true, right? He predicted the Marauders to begin with, right?
Yep. I think John actually predicted, and John, correct us if we're wrong, but I think he actually predicted that the Steamrollers were going down.
Yes. Okay. Well, either way, he was right.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Can't
it
argue
was.
with that.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the Marauders, but the Olympians, they surprise me once in a while. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Early in the season, I wouldn't have picked the Olympians to be here. The first couple weeks, I'd say, the first couple games. So we'll see.
John says the Steamrollers got steamrolled. This is
They
very
did.
true.
They did. They did. Didn't know what hit them. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think?
I didn't think the Marauders would be here. I thought it was going to be the Olympians and the Grazers in this series.
Okay.
Marauders kind of surprised me, and then they ended up having the best record. They just kept winning. So, I don't know. In terms of the whole entire series, if I had to do a prediction right off the bat, probably give the Marauders a little more. Yeah, I'd probably go with the Marauders a little bit more. One thing I just don't know about them is bullpen. It might come down to the bullpen. Dude, how dramatic is this that the music on our YouTube channel just slowly faded out as we're heading into the final countdown? Could couldn't have timed that more perfectly. That's pretty funny. Oh my god, game starts soon is all off-centered. That's terrible.
Starting. It is start. I didn't know that happened.
I didn't know that.
How about if we do this? Boom. Did
All
I
right,
fix
well,
it?
I will be right back. We are going to start our game here on YouTube. Just bear with me one moment, folks. BRB, and then we'll get it going.
All right.
Sounds good. See you in a few.
Alrighty.
Okay, folks, here we go. That's more like it. Thank you so much again for joining us here. Cheese League Baseball, Cheese Cup Series. And yeah, we're going to enjoy some great action here. If you watched our pregame, thank you so much. And we're just going to hop right into it. Finley Oldham on the mound. You see his wellness meter. He got hit by that comebacker. Wellness meter is low. Then Raymundo Gordon. So we're going to jump right into it. Oh my gosh. Olympians versus Marauders. Game number 1 here. Cheese Cup Series. And boom, we're hopping into it. Playing, of course, at the Marauders' home turf. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Playing at the Marauders' home turf, the Emerald Diamond, of course. Pirates like booty, so why not play at the Emerald Diamond? Gertie Booper, Ellie Mullins, Marty Hull. 1, 2, and 3 due up here for the Olympians. Here's the first pitch from Raymundo Gordon. And it's a strike, 81. Well, change up. And 82. 2 change-ups in a row. And ooh, a little excuse me swing. And there's an out.
Now batting the second baseman, number 14.
Here's Ellie Mullins, second baseman for the Olympians. 231 so far. This playoff series. Or these playoffs, I should say. There's a strike. Gordon, of course. There's the 3-1 count. Tater Pepperonis with the diving stop. And there's out number 2. Here's Marty Hull. Marty Hull looking tense. Despite that, he's hitting 385, 1 homer, 1 RBI in the playoffs. Bumped up quite a bit here in the lineup, too. The number 3 spot. Raymundo Gordon, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, slider, curve, and change from the right side. And now the full count here to Hull. Fouled away. Popped up. There's Xerox Liu for out number 3. Down go the Olympians in order, and it'll actually be Xerox Liu to lead it off here. 500 so far in these playoffs with 3 RBIs. And you see, there's Finley Oldham looking strained, velocity junk down. That one's hit to Mullins, and there's out number 1.
Now
And here's Raina McLongthrow.
Number 46.
Ball inside. Oldham, of course, four-seamer, slider, curve, and change also from the right side. A foul ball. 1 and 2. Ball way inside. Pressure back off the plate. 2 and 2. And nubbed. Right back to Oldham. There's out 2. Here is one of those guys I was talking about earlier in the pregame, Stetson Fuller. Center fielder here for the Marauders. Just didn't do much in the regular season, but hitting 600 with 2 RBIs in the playoffs. Nice little break on that pitch. Oldham. 92 in the gun, despite feeling strained. Foul. 2 and 2. And a base hit. There goes the no-hitter. So, 2 out base hit there. And Tugger Gentry steps in. 250 with 1 RBI. Safe. And quick. Oh, no. Checking on the runner again. Very, very good speed at first base. And he goes. Safe. I mentioned in the pregame that those Marauders, they like to run. A 1 and 2 count on Gentry. And again, nubbed back to Oldham. And there's out number 3. Joy Trickster will lead it off, followed by Bernal and Foul. Boy, Warner Foul moved up quite a bit in this Olympians lineup.
Number 13.
All throughout these playoffs, actually. There's Trickster, 417 in the playoffs. Yeah, Gordon's just throwing straight junk out there. Hit the pepperonis. There's out number 1.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 19.
And Bernal, 455. Really see the first, the first 5-6 hitters of this Olympians lineup have just been absolutely fantastic during these playoffs. Bottom part of the order they're struggling with it. There's Pepperonis again. Boy, he's busy. And quickly 2 outs.
Number
There's
46.
Warner Foul. Foul did not hit 250, I can tell you, in the regular season. I think he was hovering around the 200 mark. Gordon camps under this one. Takes it himself. There's out number 3. Olympians go down in order. And we'll have Quinto, Buck, and Plows up for the Marauders.
The first baseman.
Lila Quinto really, really struggling. I said 091. She's a 289 regular season hitter, so you need a little more production out of her. And that's what they need, a base hit up the middle. Lila Quinto leads the bottom of the second off with a base hit, and that brings up Joaquin Buck. 1 homer, 3 RBIs for him so far these playoffs. That one is popped up. Warner Foul puts it away. There's out number 1. And here's Wilder Plows. 444, 1 homer. Look at that, 5 RBIs. And that DH spot here for the Marauders. Just fantastic. Again, wasn't too much of a factor in the regular season, but he's stepping it up right now. 2-1 on Plows. And there's the 2-2. The home crowd did not like that call. And there's a ball high, full count. Hit quite well. It's going to be off the wall. Shaw has trouble with it. And they're sending the runner home. Mullins gets it, fires home, but no chance. The Marauders lead it 1-0. It's an RBI double.
Number 18.
And here's Julian Park with a runner on second with very good speed. 1 out. Park hasn't really been much of a factor. He has 1 RBI, but no hits so far. And 3-0. And I'm starting to wonder if Oldham's injury is impacting his accuracy and definitely impacting his velocity. Tater Pepperonis. 2 on, and they do Oh no, not a double steal. But nonetheless, it gets away from Hull behind the plate, so that moves the runners up. With one out here, second and third. And there's a strike to Pepperonis. 3-1. And a big looping hook there. And that's a foul ball. Can never hit the curveball. 3-2, and apparently neither can Tater Pepperonis. So 2 outs. Now we're back to the top of the order. Xerox Liu. So to strike 91. Yeah, I really think that injury is impacting Oldham's velocity. He's mid to upper 90s pitcher. And that's a base hit. 1 run comes home. RBI single for Liu. Marauders lead it 2-0. And Oldham is pulled. We're going to have Moises Mercado come in. Out of the Olympians bullpen. Ooh, they almost got him leaning over there. And another, oh no, Mullins with a nice dive, or a jumping catch. Check. The streams looking good, folks. Spencer Panada steps in. It's the bottom part of the Olympians order. Got it again. Boy, Tater Pepperonis. Really, really busy today.
Number 20.
Neil Shaw. Homer 4 RBIs, batting 400 so far in these playoffs. And looks at us. Strike 0-2 now. Popped up. Looks like Gordon is going to be there. Takes it himself. For out number 2.
Now batting,
Here's
the
Liam
third
Bowles.
baseman, number
300.
28.
31 pitches now for Gordon here in the top of the third. And pretty darn economical. And quickly. 0-2. I want to look at his pitches here because I have a suspicion. And that's a base hit up the middle. I have a suspicion he's actually working in that 2-seamer a little bit more. That's why he's getting so many ground ball outs. Here's Gertie Booper, though. Top of the order for the Olympians. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Ball outside, 2-1. And 3-1. And walked. Booper is walked.
Number 14.
And there's a line out to McClung for out number 3. And we're going to the bottom of the third. Stetson Fuller will lead it off here for the Marauders. 1 for 1 with a single so far today.
50.
See if Mercado can come in, settle some things down for the Olympians. There's a grounder to Mullins. That's out number 1.
Now batting,
Tucker Gentry, 2 for 1 so far.
number 29.
And ooh, a little floater in there. Mullins again. Out number 2.
Now batting, the first baseman,
Quinto's 1 for 1 today with a single. Moises Mercado, 4-seamer, 2-seamer slider, and a changeup. More of an accuracy pitcher. Not big on junk. Popped up. That's going to get in the stands. 1-2 on Quinto. And Quinto didn't like the call. The home crowd didn't like the call. I didn't like the call. I thought it was too high, but
now batting,
that's
catcher,
the strike
number
zone that
16.
Blue behind the plate has established. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here, top of the 4th. Marty Hull pops up. And that gets off the screen. And high. And a low ball. 2-2. Fouled away. Still 2-2. And again, we reset. And a, oh, that looked like a fair ball to me. That looked like a fair ball to me, but we'll go with what the umpire says. And it's a pop out to Tater Pepperonis. That was a little too close to call.
Number 13.
That was, I think that was a fair ball, but nonetheless. Here's Joy Trickster. 2-1 on Trickster. And now 3-1. Good hitters count here. So Gordon goes with. And walks her. With the changeup down low.
Now batting, the right
Here's Bernal,
fielder,
0 for 1 so
number
far today.
19.
Trickster's kind of a mid-range runner. I'd say no real threat to run there first. Steal the bag. And she goes anyway. No, maybe a little hit and run action. That's a pop out to Fuller. And if you'll notice, folks, that
Now batting, the left
was a pop
fielder,
out to the outfield.
number
Not a lot of
46.
those so far today for Raymundo Gordon. A lot of ground ball outs. As Werner Foul steps in now. 2 outs, runner on first, and a 3-0 count. There's a foul ball. Popped up. Shallow right field. Pepperonis goes out, catches it, and there is out number 3. And we have a packed house here tonight, folks, at beautiful Emerald Diamond.
The left fielder, number 47.
And here is Joaquin Buck to lead it off. For the Marauders, 6, 7, and 8 due up. And 3-0. And Mercado walks it. I always say walks score runs, so not something you want to do. Let's see if that comes back to bite the Olympians. While the Plow steps in. He has 6 RBIs these playoffs. It's just bananas. 0-2. Grounded to Mullins. Can they turn 2? To Booper. To Panada. There it is. 4-6-3 double play. There's Julian Park. He walked his first time up.
18.
Fouled away. Just like to thank one of our sponsors, Island Buyer. If you're buying an island, why not Island Buyer? Popped up, Marty Hull behind the plate. And there's out number 3. So the Marauders go down in order. They still lead at 2-0. We go to the top of the 5th. Bottom
Now batting,
part of the order
first
due up here
baseman,
for the
number
Olympians.
15.
If you're just joining us, folks, thank you so much. Cheese League Baseball is the Cheese Cup Series, Olympians versus Marauders. Of course, played on Super Mega Baseball 3. 2-1 on Panada. There's a pop-up. And who's going to get it this time? It's going to be Pepperonis. Man,
Now batting, the
he's had
center
so many
fielder,
putouts today.
number 20.
He's had like 7 putouts. It's ridiculous. Neil Shaw hits that one. But warning track power right at Fuller.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 28.
It's a hard hit ball though. So this is Gordon's 70th pitch. His stats are trending down. Stamina is low. We'll have to see how long he lasts as Bowles looks at a strike. And that one has popped up. He's starting to give up a lot more fly ball outs, so I think they're gonna pull him the next inning, I have no doubt. But we'll see. Tater Pepperonis leads it off
The second baseman,
for the Marauders
number
in the bottom of the 5th. Mercado's still working away out there. Definitely giving the Olympians some innings. That one is hit high and far. And oh wow! Bernal pops a home run from Tater Pepperonis. I think that's Bernal's 2nd robbed home run of the season. What a play. That would be a web gem if we have web gems. That one's foul down the line. Pretty decent amount of foul territory here at the Emerald Diamond. And Leo goes down on strikes. Mercado's settling in now. Here's McLongthrow.
Number 46.
And she pops this one up. Who's going to get that? It's going to be Gertie Booper. Out number 3. McLongthrow 0 for 3 so far today. Put a pin in that one. It's top of the order here for the Olympians. And the top of the 6th. And we're going to have a defensive replacement. So the Marauders definitely thinking about shoring up their defense. Majors goes to 3rd. 3-0, and that one gets away from Park, but she is walked anyway.
The second baseman, number now, pitching.
And I knew it. Von Crumb's coming in out of the bullpen here. We've seen him quite a bit. But this should be 2 to Pepperonis and to Quinto. 6-4-3 double play. And now that brings up Marty Hall 0 for 2 today. Popped up to Fuller. There's out number 3. Fifth inning stretch. We did miss the 5th inning stretch. But thank you so much, Joey, for reminding me in the chat on Twitch, for reminding me about our other sponsor, Lol Crab Pasta Bar. Because crabs are no laughing matter. That's a base hit. So starting off bottom of the 6th here with a single. Here's Tucker Gentry. Very, very good speed on the base pass, and that one is hit very, very high. It's about 1.5 miles high as we get a nice look at the harbor. Let's look at the harbor over there. And that's 1 out. Quinto 1 for 2 in the single. Mercado's pulled, and here comes Blaze. I've already seen him in the playoffs. Check on the runner. Safe. And he goes. And safe. Pitching the dirt there. Throwing the dirt there from Hull behind the plate. Let's see if they just walk Quinto. Oh no, they're pitching. They're going at her. Nope, there's the walk. Either way, that sets up the double play. Might be a good strategy, especially if you have Buck up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. See if they can get the double play, get out of this inning. Runners go, double steal. Throw down to 2nd and out. So they get the runner at 2nd. And it's 3-1 on Buck. There's a pitch way outside. And they just put him on first. They got to face Wilder Plows, who's quite well today. And it's base hit up the middle. It's an RBI single for Plows. The Marauders lead it 3-0 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now back, the catcher, number 18.
Julian Park steps in and fouls that one off. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Marauders lead at 3-0. That one's hit quite well. Does it have the distance? It does. Julian Park just sneaks over the wall. 394-foot shot. First homer, 4th RBI in the playoffs. That 3-run jack. The Marauders take the 6-0 lead. And I was just going to say, I think they're going to pull Blaze. And here comes Adam Bugles. Here's Tater Pepperonis up. And Pepperonis tees off on this one. Holy cow. Where's that going to land? Oh my God. That almost hit the whales. How far was that? 458-foot jack to dead center. Tater Pepperonis First homer, first RBI of the playoffs. The Marauders with the 7-0 lead. Wow, what an absolute tank. Pepperonis saving it up for the playoffs. Here's the 1-2 to Liu. And that one is nubbed back to Bugles. That's the final out. But boy, a big 5 spot here. In the bottom of the 6th, the Marauders lead it 7-0. Here's Joy Trickster.
Number 13.
4, 5, and 6. So the heart of the order due up for the Olympians. They have quite the mountain to climb. They started off good. Joy Trickster, the base hit right up the middle.
Now batting.
Here's
the
Bernal.
right fielder.
Said
Number
he's been
19.
pretty hot these playoffs. 0 for 2 today. Looks at a ball high from Von Crum. And a little liner to Quinto. They can't
Now batting.
double
the
him up
left
there.
Fielder. Number 46.
Here's Werner Fowl. I know Fowl has a RBI or a homer, 3 RBIs, but actually surprised there. Sticking with him, I thought maybe Getrek would come in as a pinch hitter. 2-1 now, Fowl. And there's strike 2, 2-2. Fouled away. And again, we reset. 2-2. Werner Fowl struck him out. Boy, that was a great pitch.
Now
Wow,
batting, the first baseman.
really pulled the string on
Number
that
15.
one. Slider, good pitching there, Von Crum. 2 outs now. Of course, we only play 7 innings here. Cheese League Baseball, and that one's a little hot shot to Quinto. She recovers. There's out number 3. Boy, the Marauders win big. Holy cow. 7-0 over the Olympians. Wow, wow, wow. Let's take a look here at the lines. 0-2-0 for the Olympians, 7-8-0 for the Marauders. That big 5-run bottom of the 6th really, really sealed the deal. On the Olympian side, this is going to be quite interesting too. So on the Olympian side, just 2 hits. 2 hits. Joy Trickster, Liam Bowles. 3 walks, only 1 strikeout. Majority of the outs were ground ball outs, and toward the latter part of the game, fly ball outs once you got into the bullpen and once Gordon kind of cooled down. Holy cow. On the Marauders side, big hits, of course, big hitting, I should say. Stetson Fuller, Wilder Plows, 2 RBIs today. Buck walked twice, that's pretty interesting. Of course, 3 RBIs. Julian Park, 3-run homer. Tater Pepperonis with the home run. The big home run, Jesus, that was a tank. And then Xerox Liu, of course, with the hit as well. 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. This is why I always say walks score runs. More often than not, those walks will come back to bite you, and you just can't let that happen. Fortunately, unfortunately, Finley Oldham gets the loss. Raymundo Gordon with the win, and then Von Crum with the save, out of all things. I think he's their, is he their long man, I think? Top 3 players. Julian Park, 1 for 2, a homer, 3 RBIs, and a run. Wilder Plows, 2 for 3, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, and a stolen bag. And then Tater Pepperonis, 1 for 3, the gigantic mammoth home run, and then an RBI and a run as well. That is how game number 1 of the Cheese Cup Series ends here, folks. Holy cow. Let's go back to the season hub. Wow, wow, wow. That was an absolute blowout. I mean, the Olympians were hitting very, very well. Really well against the Steamrollers. I cannot believe that those hot hitters were just stifled. Raymundo Gordon pitched well. Yeah, just incredible. So let's take a look here. A little preview for the next game. And Ariela Fuentes and Brock Farley. So that's something to look forward to. So, Look at that. 9 o'clock on the dot, folks. And, yeah, we're going to hop into our post-game show. We're going to bring Joey back. Joey, are you there? Uh-oh, did we lose Joe?
How's it going?
There it is. There you are. Holy cow. What do you think of that, Joe?
I think that was a very fun game.
It was quite the
What do
blowout.
you think of that?
It was
Yeah.
It was a blowout. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck? The Olympians batch just... What happened? They didn't... 2 hits. They got 2 hits. They were so hot. I talked about Bernal. I talked about Trickster. I talked about Shaw. They were so hot. Nothing. They got nothing.
I don't know, man. I don't
Finley-
know, but
Finley Oldham. It was Finley Oldham. He just was not himself. Not himself
Yeah.
at all. I mean,
yeah, it was. I don't know. It didn't. It seemed like it was over before you knew it. And some of those plays though, that one home run Rob.
Bernal, solid in the outfield. Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Man, and I thought we were gonna have to get field some letters from PETA after we almost hit those whales. That was that was a little nerve wracking. But man, it was a good game. Yeah, Tater Pepperoni's on defense. We have here in the chat. I saw a couple T-Pep for VIP. Saw take what you can, give nothing back. These Marauder fans are ruthless.
Yeah. I mean, they're almost too much.
Yeah. But man, it was a good game. It was, if you're a Marauders fan, that was exciting. If you're an Olympians fan, man, you kind of got to wonder what the heck happened there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, preview of game number 2. Ariel Fuentes, Brock versus Brock Farley. Let me check my notes. I'm scrambling. Oh my god, I'm scrambling.
Don't. And just to let you know that we're on a slight delay with your video feed, so don't,
Oh, okay.
which is okay. But I
I'm
just
not
wanted
gonna make
let
any
you know.
sudden movements. It's like the movie Speed. I'll just. Ariela Fuentes, she pitched game number 2 of the Olympians versus Rollers. They got the win. Or no, I'm sorry, the Rollers got the win. What am I talking about? The Rollers won that game. So that's something. And for Brock Farley,
Just make that name up.
no.
Brock
Brock Farley, the pitcher, game 2 pitcher here for the Marauders. I'm looking. He did not. Actually, did he start game number 1? I think he actually started game number 1 for the Marauders in their series versus the Rampage. I'm almost positive he did, because for some reason I didn't write it down. Because why would I do something that would help me?
Yeah.
for these
Absolutely.
for these pre and post game
Makes
shows.
no sense.
But I see as a 2.25 ERA and 1.50 WHIP, which is pretty darn good so far these playoffs. So yeah, that's something. Okay, I just need to say, Tater Pepperoni's. I talked about him in the pregame. He's hitting a $125. He's a 250 hitter this season. Honestly, among all the big power hitters in the Marauders lineup, didn't factor in. And then he just hits a 458-foot jack to dead center field. Like, what? I mean, come on. The Olympians, their pitching staff has to improve, and maybe Fuentes will be at. I mean, you see her ERA, 2.08 ERA, 1.62 WHIP so far these playoffs. If you're looking at the YouTube feed, you can see that. And I just said it out loud, so there you have it.
We're broadcasting your feed on.
Oh, really? Oh, how about
Yeah.
that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are. What am I talking about?
Yeah, we are. Everyone can see it. It's all good.
I forgot where I was. So, I mean, you know, you look at that, even though they got the loss in game number 2, that was the game that Kurt Johnson had the 2-run homer to win that game for the Rollers. So Ariela Fuentes pitched really, really well. So if she can continue that, yeah, we'll see how that works. I mean, honestly, it's going to come down to, well, I was going to say it's going to come down to pitching, but if your hitters don't hit Olympians, then what the heck? You have 2 hits?
Yeah. And that the starting pitcher for the Olympians, you think the injury factored in there to the to the performance throughout the first couple innings?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because he, you know, he's a mid to upper 90s pitcher. He was throwing like 92 tops, and just wasn't a lot of bite on his breaking pitches. And yeah, it was just there. And also, if you look too, you see Marty Hull, who's looking tense, and was also his wellness meter is kind of up. So I have a feeling that we're going to see a backup catcher in next game, even though Hull's been hitting well. I mean, he didn't really factor into the game tonight, so that's another thing. We'll have to see. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I think Tater Pepperoni's just turned on the afterburners for the for this series, maybe.
It's possible.
Some of that.
It's possible. We had a little lag in the YouTube feed. I apologize for that. But yeah, so game number 2 of the Cheese Cup Series will be broadcast. What do you say, Joe? Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock?
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Let me check my calendar. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. That would be a good time for the game. Sure. 8 p.m. Just penciling it in here. Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Cool.
Are we broadcasting that on Twitch as well?
We can, if you would like.
It's a surprise. We'll figure it out.
Either way, we'll put it out. Be sure to follow us.
Commissioner needs to play us out with my poem. Oh.
What?
There's
What poem?
There's a poem in the Twitch chat about the Marauders.
The Maraud. Oh boy, I see it. I kind of want to read this like Quint from Jaws.
I think you should. Yeah.
Marauders tamed us to the seas, to shamed Poseidon, dull like a doll's eyes. The Marauders tamed the seas to shame Poseidon. They sailed under the shroud of Erebus, making him a fool. They went ashore and climbed the famed Mount Olympus and stole all the riches of Zeus right from under his nose.
Yarg, 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 yarg.
I mean, that just sounded like historical fact. I mean,
yes, that's what they did for game 1. let's see.
Let's see if those Marauder fans can keep it up. You better go watch Clash of the Titans for some.
He does ask later, will he take vengeance and unleash the Titans? So we will see.
We shall see.
We will see.
Indeed. So
hold fast.
Be sure to follow us, folks, on Twitter at geek_cheese. That's where you get, of course, your Cheese League baseball news and announcements. And we will see you here tomorrow. Definitely on YouTube, possibly on Twitch. We'll see. For Cheese League Baseball, Cheese Cup Series game number 2. Olympians versus Marauders. Fuentes versus Farley. We will see how that works. And
yep. I want to do a quick shout out to John on YouTube.
John on YouTube. Big
Gem
fan.
Dragon. Hey Kellyanne, Lootvac. All the others that are joining, stopping in. If you're checking this out after the broadcast, thank you for having a look. We do appreciate it. Drop a follow.
Absolutely.
Check us out. There's more of this craziness to come, I'm sure.
It is craziness. All right, folks. thank you. That is all for us. We will see you tomorrow at roughly 8 o'clock, and we'll figure all of this stuff out again, and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much. Go buy Super Mega Baseball 3. Shout out for Super Mega Baseball 3, the GOAT. #GOAT.
Hashtag GOAT. All right, have a good night, everybody.
See ya. Take care.